In this tutorial, I'll show you how to use the score editor in MusicBuddy. It's designed to be a musical scratch pad, create scores quick and dirty, and share them with your friends and bandmates. So to do that, we come up and we can create a score. We'll call it My Song. And you can change the clef and all the things, the key, so on and so forth. We'll take the song form and make it AAB. We're going to keep this really simple. We'll do 4 measures per section, no endings. And just enough to get us going. We create the score. We've got our musical scratch pad. So we can start to add notes using the notes palette. We can add chords with the chords palette and text and drums. So it's pretty intuitive. We'll create some 8th notes here. We'll create a little theme. Start each measure with 8th notes. Now, one of the things that I really like is you can come over to the chord editor, and if you pick a measure, you get chord predictions. And so the basic predictions here are based on a model that was trained on a lot of different songs. So what it does is it looks at up to 3 measures in advance of the current selected measure, and it tells you of all the songs that this was trained on, and was trained on lots of different genres. In fact, you can pick the genre here if you want to, we'll say jazz, and it'll tell you what all the most likely songs are in that genre, the most likely chords are for this particular measure, given the previous measures and the genre that was selected. So we'll go ahead and actually let me show you one other thing, which is the advice. So what advice does is it looks at the notes that are in a given measure, and it'll tell you of the chords that the model predicted, which are the best given the particular note that's there and the key that is there. And so you can see here for jazz, it likes a D minor and an F7 because they're in green. So we'll pick a D minor, and you see the D minor is selected here, and we can just click these little chord guys. And if we go to the next measure, we can see that it likes D measure also. And actually, let's pick a different one. Let's pick A7. So we can see that A7 is here, so that's the one that we're going to get. And then pick the next guy. And let's turn the advice off and just see, like, what does it want to pick given just the 2 previous chords. So when you have D minor 7 followed by an A7, if you look through all the jazz songs that this was trained on, it'll say that it likes for the next chord either a G or a D minor, and here's some other choices we can do also. So let's just do a G and see what that sounds like. And then for the last measure, we'll do another G. So we can see what this sounds like. Okay, so that gets us started. We need to fill this out, and you can see that because we've only got 1 beat covered and we're in 4/4, it expects 3 more beats. So we'll just add some quarter notes. And let's say we wanted to change this to an 8th note. We can just select it and come over and pick 8th. And we'll do some more quarter notes. And this is not going to be a super fancy song, but you'll get the idea. So we can listen again. Not a masterpiece, but you can make it better. So now if we want to play it with a full band, we can just click over to the play tab. That sounds better. We can come over here and we can adjust. It's got a 4-track playback. So let's see what we'll do. We'll take a look at the drums and change it from basic rock to a bossa, and then we can see what that sounds like. notehead back to the editor. We can go in and fill out the B section. Now, once we've got this masterpiece created, we'll save it. So we've saved it as my song. We can go over to the library and actually let's pick the most recent my song. So we can send it to our friends. There's a couple ways we can do it. We can email it to them. We can copy and paste the link. You can see how it works here. You have the domain name is Music Buddy, and then the song is in this kind of crazy looking, I don't even know what to call it. It's basically base 64 encoded version of the song. We can copy it to the clipboard, and if we post it as a link and you click on a link, it'll take you to Music Buddy and load this song up. The other thing that we can do that I think is cool, since pretty much everybody I know uses iReal Pro, you can take your song, and if you check it here and you click this button, it will export it into iReal Pro. So we can see our song here. And if you import it, you get it in iReal Pro, and you can use iReal Pro's features to share it with your bandmates. So that is kind of it in a nutshell. I'll do some more videos and show you some of the other things that you can do with the editor at a later time.